Hello everyone and welcome to the daily morning podcast of SBI Securities. So friends, let's discuss how the markets closed on Monday. Sensex closed higher by 560 points to settle at 73,649. Nifty closed higher by 189 points to settle at 22,336. On the broader market side, Nifty Mid Cap 100 closed higher by 0.82%, whereas Small Cap 100 closed higher by 1.31% respectively. Moving on to the top 5 gainers and losers on Nifty 50. So the top 5 gainers were Tata Consumer, BPCL, Eicher Motors, Bajaj Finance and Axis Bank. Whereas talking about the top 5 losers, they were NTPC, HDFC Bank, JSW Steel, IndusInd Bank and Bajaj Auto. Now moving on to the sector-wise advances and decline on BSE. So S&P BSE Consumer Durables, Services, Telecommunication, Healthcare, Financial Services, FMCG, Auto, Realty, Energy, IT and Metals. So all the indices were up by 2.53%, 1.53%, 1.17%, 1.05%, 1.04%, 0.97%, 0.93%, 0.71%, 0.68%, 0.59% and 0.25% respectively. Moving on to the market breadth, where 2,599 stocks advanced, whereas 1,310 stocks declined. Talking about the 52-week high, so around 151 stocks scaled new 52-week high. So few of them were Eicher Motors, Elecon Engineering, Hindustan Aeronautics, Hindustan Copper, Jio Financial Services, M&M, etc. And moving on to the 52-week low, so around 22 stocks were trading at new 52-week low. So some of them were Bharat Wire, Suzlon Energy, etc. Talking about the FI and DI data, so FI is net sold to the amount of rupees 2,915 crores, whereas DI is net bought rupees 3,543 crores in the cash market yesterday. Talking about the global cues, all the three major US stock indices, Dow Jones, Nasdaq and S&P closed higher by 0.7%, 1.1%, 0.9%. The big tech earnings like Google, Tesla, Microsoft has its results due this week. The Asian markets are currently trading higher, hence we expect a positive start for our market today. Now moving on to the results. So yesterday we had a biggie, Reliance Industries declaring its results and its results were better than market expectation. So the consolidated revenue, EBITDA, PAT, it grew 11.3%, 10.8%, whereas PAT degrew 1.8% YOY. And QOQ it grew 5.6%, 4.6% and 9.8% to rupees 2,40,715 crores, 42,516 crores and 18,951 crores. Talking about the segment-wise performance, so the first one is digital services. Revenue, EBITDA, PAT for 4Q FY24 rose 13.4%, 12.5% and 12% YOY to rupees 28,871 crores, 14,360 crores and 5,583 crores respectively. Second, Reliance Retail, where its revenue, EBITDA, PAT for 4Q FY25 grew 10%, 18% and 12% YOY to rupees 67,610 crores, 5,632 crores and 2,698 crores. Third, oil and gas, its revenue and EBITDA for 4Q FY24 grew 42% and 47.5% YOY to rupees 6,468 crores and 5,606 crores. And its fourth business segment, oil to chemicals, its revenue and EBITDA for 4Q FY24 rose 10.9% and 3% YOY to rupees 1,42,634 crores and 16,777 crores. So we continue to remain bullish on the stock from a long-term perspective, with its likely value unlocking by listing of consumer business. The new energy business is likely to be a new profitable dominant vertical in the next 3 to 5 years. And with telecom business capex at the fag end, cash flows are likely to improve from here on. So we are positive for Reliance Industries in long term. Second, we have Tejas Network, where its revenue was up 343% to rupees 1,327 crores. EBITDA was at rupees 306.5 crores and margins were at 23.9% against at 23.9%, and its net profit stood at 146.78 crores versus loss of 11.47 crores YOY. So overall the results were better than market expectations, so we are positive for Tejas Network in short term. Rallis India, its revenue was down 16.64% YOY to rupees 436 crores. EBITDA came at rupees 6 crores versus a loss of 64 crores, and margins were at 1.37%. It showed a net loss of rupees 21 crores against a loss of 69 crores YY. So therefore, overall the results were decent. So positive for Rallis India. Mahindra Logistics, the revenue was up 14% to rupees 1,450 crores. EBITDA was down 11.15% to rupees 56.61 crores. And margins were also down by 110 basis points at 3.9% versus 5% YOY. It had a net loss of rupees 12.85 crores versus a loss of 0.82 crores. So therefore the results were neutral to negative for Mahindra Logistics in short term. Hudson Agro Product, the revenue was up 14.38% YOY to rupees 2,047 crores. EBITDA was up 47% YOY at rupees 230 crores. Margin was up by 247 basis points YOY at 11.21%, and net profit was also up by 109% to rupees 52 crores. So overall positive for Hudson Agro Product. Tamil Nadu Mercantile Bank, the NII stood at rupees 567 crores, which was growing at 8% YOY, and profit stood at 253 crores, remaining steady on a YOY basis. Gross advances stood at 39,970 crores, growing at 6.35% YOY. And deposits stood at rupees 49,515 crores, growing at 3.66% YOY. So overall positive for Tamil Nadu Mercantile Bank in short term. So now today, some of the companies who will be declaring their results today. So they are Tata Consumer Products, ICICI Prudential Life Insurance, Tata Elxsi, MCX, Huhtamaki India, Cyan DLM, and 361 WAM Limited. Now moving on to the stocks which will be likely to be in focus today. So the first is Indian Overseas Bank. The company will raise up to rupees 1,000 crores via debt and rupees 5,000 crores via equity. So neutral for IOB. Next we have is Patel Engineering. The board has approved the opening of QIP issue at a floor price of rupees 59.5 per share, which is 10% discount to the CMP. The company may offer a discount of up to 5% on the floor price, so it's neutral to positive for Patel Engineering. Wipro, the company's step-down unit Synchrony Global has been voluntarily dissolved effective today, therefore neutral for Wipro in short term. IndusInd Bank, the company has launched the pilot of programmable central bank digital currency in collaboration with Circularity Innovation Hub India, therefore neutral for IndusInd Bank in short term. RR Kabil, the board has approved the termination of Dinesh Agarwal as CEO, which is effective from today. The roles and responsibilities of the CEO will be taken over by Shri Gopal Rameshwar Lal Kabra, the MD of the company. Therefore, slight neutral to marginal negative for RR Kabil in short term. KP Energy, the company has received a 9 megawatt wind power project order from Bhatwari Technologies. So positive for KP Energy in short to medium term. Patanjali Foods, the company has incorporated two wholly owned subsidiaries, Contemporary Agro and Rishi Krishi Farming for rupees 20 lakh each, therefore neutral for Patanjali in short term. HPL Electric and Power, the company has launched a new product, HPL fans in SAARC countries, Middle East and African countries, so therefore positive for HPL Electric in short to medium term. Red Tape, the company has commenced online operational activity from its new warehouse situated in Bhiwandi, so therefore neutral to positive for Red Tape in short to medium term. Moving on to the IPO offering, where we have first is JNK India, where the company will offer its shares for bidding, and the price band is set from rupees 395 to 415 per share. So the IPO is a combination of fresh issue of rupees 300 crores and rest is offer for sale. So the overall issue size is 649.47 crores, and the company has already raised rupees 194 crores from anchor investors. Moving on to FPO, where we have Vodafone Idea, where the fund offer was subscribed to 6.36 times on day 3, and the bids were led by Insti investors 17.56 times, non-Insti investors 4.13 times, and retail investors 0.92 times. Moving on to Bull Deal, where first we have is Indraprastha Medical Corp, where Quant Mutual Fund, Quant Small Cap Fund bought 5.5 lakh shares at rupees 249.59 per share. Second we have is Rama Steel Tubes, where Bansal Shashi sold 80 lakh shares at rupees 12.7 per share. Moving on to the corporate action, where we have X record right issue of IIFL Finance today, X record special dividend of Aster DM, and X record bonus issue of Anup Engineering. Yeah, so that was all from the fundamental side pertaining to the daily morning podcast. Thank you for listening.
Investment in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.